Westerville Public Library. This is Annamarie, one of your youth librarians, excited to share a play and learn activity with all of you. These are great activities, particularly for ages 0 to 3, though preschoolers may enjoy them as well, that you can recreate using household objects that might keep your little one occupied for at least a couple minutes. So this is one of my favorites because it uses really simple objects and promotes a ton of fine motor skills in those fingers. For our little ones, those fine motor skills help with writing skills long term. All you really need for this is an empty box. I have a cereal box. You could use an empty pasta box, an empty cracker box, a standard empty cardboard box. I will say the thinner the cardboard, so something like that cereal box in structure, the easier this will be for you. A shipping box might be a little bit more challenging for the grown-up, but will still be just as fun for the little one. I have a pen. This is just an everyday pen. You could have a pencil, any sharp object or sharp-ish object like a pen that you're going to use to poke holes in our cereal box. I have shipping tape. You could use Scotch tape. This will be used to reinforce the edges of the box. Honestly, you don't have to reinforce the edges of the box. It can actually be more entertaining for a little one to explore seeing those straws inside of the open box. If you want something a little bit more durable long term, tape is a great resource. And I have straws. So these are reusable straws that we've collected over time because this is an activity that we do a lot after our story times in person at the library. So these are easy to clean, can survive the chewing that happens at this age range, and get all those germs off. You can also use standard, any kind of straws, paper straws, plastic straws, whatever you have. Or you could even use unsharpened pencils, any object that has that shape that will be able to stand up in the holes you create. So to make the cereal box and straw activity, I am going to close my box, maybe. All right, and then I'm going to use this tape to secure those edges. So I'm just going to start on this side, get some tape down. No real particular way to do this. I'm going to go around the box twice. Tape off. All done with my tape. So I have my cereal box. You could go around more times than that if you want something really secure. And then I'm just going to take my pen. Again, you could use a pencil, any sharp object, and I'm going to poke holes in the box. You could poke your holes in a pattern so that if the little one puts all the straws in all the holes, then they could make a letter or a shape. That can add another level of literacy or math exploration to this activity, especially if you have a collection of boxes. I am going to poke, I think in the letter A. We will do that. So I am just poking that pen straight through. We're going to make ourselves a letter A. And we'll do an extra one in the middle to make that line. All right, so the next step that you need to do as the grown-up is check whatever straw or type of item you are giving your little one and test putting it in those holes. So these straws are like those plastic smoothie straws, so they're a little bit thicker. So when I put these into these holes, it works, but there's definitely a little bit of a force of motion that I have to do. It's not an easy drop. So if I have an older toddler or preschooler that I'm making this activity for, that may be great. Not a real problem. However, I am designing this in my head for a younger baby, maybe between 9 months and 15 months. This process may prove just frustrating enough that they may give up on the toy. The other challenge is these straws have that little lip at the top. So if I try to put it in that direction, it's not going to work. So I'm going to go back. You can also test this after you make the first hole, so you don't go back and do the whole thing again. whatever way works for you. And I'm just gonna poke a hole right beside this one. Use my pen to drag out that space just a little bit. So I'm actually just inserting the pen back into the hole and just pushing it around to make it just a little bit bigger. Makes that space wide enough. Now, if you are using plastic straws or disposable straws, typically just that one pen punch is enough. So, take a look. I've got one more hole. All right, we're gonna test one more time with our straws. Voila! They stand up pretty well. So this activity seems very simple, and I will be the first to say the first time I did it, I did not think that little ones would be very engaged because it seems so simple. But from my experience, they really, really like the motion of putting those straws into those holes and taking them back out again. Some straws will stand up better than others, and that's just part of the experience. So that is cereal boxes and straws. It's a great activity to help build those fine motor skills in their fingers as they hold and place those straws. And I've seen this keep little ones occupied for 20 minutes or more.